Hi, I'm Tracy Sofra and I work with career-minded professional women. And for far too long, women have been led to believe that they're not good with numbers, that they can't manage money, and ultimately one day someone will come and rescue them. Well, I'm here to dispel that myth once and for all. Today I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday, and what we're going to do is touch on step number 2 of the 6-step process in enabling us to kick status quo in the butt. Yeah? So yesterday we spoke about assessing your current situation, where you are now, and what was keeping you stuck. And we had a bit of a conversation around that and what that might look like. So I'm going to pick up with step number 2 today. And you guessed it, the second step is to discover thyself. Not as easy as it sounds if you've actually done some of this work. I've done a lot of it, and I do a lot of it with all of the women that I work with. And it can be quite emotional and it can be quite difficult because there are a lot of blocks in the way, and I've discovered that through the deep diving sessions that I've done with so many of my female clients. So I want to start by asking you, you need to dig deep and look at who you are without turning to the security of what you do. And what I mean by that is we all have the security of what you do. So if they say, Tracy, you know, what do you do? Who are you? You know, I might turn to, I'm an accountant and financial planner. Well, that's great, but that's what I do. That's my toolbox. That's my skill set. It doesn't define who I am at my core as a human being, as a person. So many times we do run to that security and put up the armor. But if we don't do the hard work and if we don't dig deep into finding out who we truly are, how are we ever going to move forward and reach ultimate happiness and fulfillment? And how are we ever going to achieve the financial freedom and the independence and strength that we're looking for as women today in the 21st century? So who are you at your core without the security of what you do? Can you define that? And where are you right now in your life? Where are you? Are you where you thought you'd be? I watched a video quite some time ago that Tony Robbins spoke about this very topic. And he basically said, and it really stuck with me because he basically said, you know, when we're growing up, we create these images, we create this expectation, this blueprint, if you like, in our minds of where we think we should be and how our lives should play out. And then we look at where we are down the track as we get older in our lives. And if where we are in the here and now doesn't match that picture, it creates an immense amount of distress, lack of fulfillment, and wondering what the hell went wrong. And I thought, how incredibly powerful was that in the way that he explained that? So I want to pass that on to you. Does it look like where you are now? Does it look like where you should be? Are you meeting that picture in your mind? Is the expectation alive and real, or is it just so skewed and this is why you're feeling that niggling in your gut that something's not quite right? Everything seems okay, but I'm not fulfilled. I'm not living my dream. I'm not living my destiny. Why am I so ungrateful? I should be happy. Any of these questions resonating with you? I would say there's a mismatch in the picture that you've got and the reality of where you are. So where are you right now is another important question to look at. And in order to discover, you might be saying, well, Trace, how do I discover? How do I discover who I am? Tough questions, and you've got to do it. You've got to do it with honesty, openness, and you've got to have the courage to dig deep and unearth those things. Because a lot of the time, as we grow up, we manage the way that we are. We manage our responses, we manage the person that we've become. Subconsciously, I guess, we adapt to our environment, we adapt to the externals, and we don't want to rock the boat, and we maintain the status quo because it's easier, right? I don't want you to do that anymore, because maintaining the status quo doesn't actually allow you to live your full life. And this is the 6-step process to kicking it in the butt, yeah? So step number 2 is the discovery piece. Here's a couple of things you can ask yourself to uncover, to work out who you truly are. What are some of the things that you see in life that are absolutely frustrating to you? some of the things that you're fearful of, or what inspires you. What do you watch? What do you see? What do you hear that frustrates the hell out of you and you wish you could change it? There it is. There's a little hint of what you're passionate about the things that you want to change in the world. There's a little hint that tells you where your true belief system is and what frustrates you. There's little signs that you need to unearth and dig deep below the surface to unearth these things and be truthful to working out how you're going to discover who you are. And it's okay, I'm giving you permission to do that. You don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to abide by the status quo. How do you want to be remembered by your family and those around you and people that knew you? And what legacy do you want to leave behind? What's important to you in your life? And I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about your husband or your partner or your kids or what mum and dad said and what your sisters believe. So many times we are constantly influenced by those around us and what we see and what we hear, and we feel like if we're not like that, there must be something wrong with us. Nothing can be further from the truth. This is the time for us as women to be brutally honest about who we are and what we want. And how difficult are those two questions? You'd think that as you grow up and get older and get immersed in life and find your profession, whatever you do in life, and once you get married and have kids and however your life plays out, you'd think by some stage that you'd know who the hell you are, but not necessarily. I found with the women that I work with, so much of the time we have molded ourselves to make sure that we're being good girls, doing the right thing, not rocking the boat, keeping everyone happy, but maybe we're not happy ourselves. Have you ever asked yourself that question? Is it time to step back? I'm getting goosebumps. Is it time to step back? It is. And have a look and ask yourself, who am I at my core? What makes me tick? And what the hell do I want from life? What is it that I want? Because if you can answer those two questions, and this is part of my program, I'm throwing it out there. My program digs even deeper than this. These are just little snippets of what you can expect. But it's so important to get the thought juices going and thinking about these things and allowing ourselves the permission to do so. Discover thyself. Nothing could be more satisfying and nothing could be more validating to actually sit in your own space and say, yeah, that's who I am. That's exactly who I am, and remain in that conviction as women of the 21st century. You see, we have been given the type of freedom that only our mothers and grandmothers could dream about. But with that freedom, I keep saying, comes responsibility. You can't just have that freedom and then expect everybody else to look after you financially. We've got to look after ourselves. It's time to step up the pace and tick the last box that hasn't been ticked. There is that myth, and I'm dispelling that myth once and for all. We are super capable, and we can do this, and we've got this. I'm Tracy Sofra. I work with career-minded professional women. And if you want that freedom of choice to live the life that you want, and if you want that freedom of choice to be the person you are, let's take responsibility together for that. Let's take charge of our lives and take charge of our money, and let's change the next generation. It's here, it's now, it's up to us. And what a beautiful time to reflect, given what's happening in the world at the moment. Self-reflection is more important now than ever before. And you know what? We're going to have so much time to do that. So spend the time doing it. The rewards will be immense and it will change your life. Make sure you like this page so your notifications come on. Make sure you click on the bottom. I can't wait to share my program with you. It is coming incredibly soon. And I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.